What's cracklin', everybody? Welcome back once again to the Definitive Cereal Tier List, where each episode we take a cereal, put it on the tier list, so you know how good it is. I'm your host, Tucker. In this episode, we're going to be doing Great Grains Blueberry Morning. Now, this is the fourth Great Grains we've done. The previous three have all been D's, unfortunately, and those were the Crunchy Pecan, which I thought was a decent base, but kind of lacking. The Raisin Cluster Crunch, which had raisins, so I expected to get an E, but the sort of cinnamon mix of flake and cluster in there I was into, so I gave it a D. And also the Cranberry Almond Crunch, which sort of low notes from both of the other two, but still kind of okay. So we'll see if this one is going to be a bit more of a standout than the others. It is blueberry, which has kind of been mostly a miss for me, but this is the first one I think that's had actual blueberry in there instead of just sort of a blueberry flavor. So maybe that'll help it stand out. And hopefully the blueberries also avoid the sort of over chewiness that the cranberries and raisins had that I wasn't very into. So a couple hopes for this one. Let's just go ahead and open it up. See what the blueberry morning, oh no, broken. See what the blueberry morning's like. Man. Oh, smelling blueberry. Yeah, okay. Like blueberry grains. Okay. Once again, changing up the flakes. Yeah, okay. All right, and of course, the front here, they have the breakdown of what we got in here. So we got the blueberries, got some almonds, flakes and clusters again. But this time, the flakes are big, like they were with the cranberry one, but sort of like little bubbles, sort of like the original Special K. Like, I think this piece was kind of similar to that. So we'll see if this is a good change to the flakes. Because switching to the bigger flakes last time, I didn't think was necessarily an improvement. But let's see if these bubbles help. Okay. All right. Got at least blueberry. I can't tell if there's almond. Okay, so flake is a lot crunchier this time. Like, a lot. So not bad. Blueberry taste is alright. I think I do like this a bit more than some of the blueberry flavorings we've had in the past. So, looking up at the moment. So like I mentioned, the flakes are a lot crunchier here than in previous Great Grains. I'm enjoying that. But there seems to be a bit less clusters compared to the previous ones, which I'm assuming is just so they don't have too much sort of crunch going on in here, which I get, it's fine. I did enjoy the clusters and all the others, but I'm still enjoying the flake and seemingly less clusters in this one. So that's still working out all right. And the blueberries are not doing the chewy thing that cranberry and raisin did, so I appreciate that. There's like a very slight chew, but it's just kind of you're in and you're out, not a constant thing like the other two. And I'm still enjoying that taste more than like blueberry flavoring we've done. So things are working out for this one pretty well. This might be, so far, the top Great Grain. Now it's time to find out what sort of blueberry taste this milk is going to have. I'm actually getting like just as much grain taste as I am blueberry taste. Which seems odd, but it's not bad. Yeah, I don't think the blueberry taste in the milk, is as present as it is when it's just sort of like a blueberry flavoring for the cereal. But it's fairly pleasant, so I'm not gonna knock it for that. It's just a bit less blueberry than I expected. So it turns out a blueberry morning is a good morning. I think I stand by my statement earlier that this is my favorite of the 4 great grains we've done so far. It is sort of a bummer that not as many clusters in there, so as you reach the end, the flakes, while very crunchy at the beginning, do sort of sogify a bit, so not as crunchy towards the end. So I guess that aspect is the one way it's like maybe a little weaker than the other great grains, but I think like for the rest of it, I'd put it above those. So what I'm gonna do is give Great Grains Blueberry Morning a C. Again, I think this is the strongest of the great grains, so I think it's worth putting in at that C to really show that it's above the others. Are there things I would change about it? Sure. The seemingly less clusters, those would kind of be nice to have those in there. Doing something slightly different with the almond because it seemed not very present, maybe switch that up. Maybe, again, still like most of the other great grains, have a bit more flavor with the actual flakes, though with this one, because they are like thicker, I guess, with the bubbles and such, they do seem to carry a bit more of even that grain taste with them that works in a way. Like maybe it's sort of the airiness of it, but it does mesh a bit better with everything than when it's just plain, but I'd still take maybe something else thrown in there. Oh, and sometimes I'd see a blueberry and it looked like a raisin, so I'd kind of like, scare me for a sec, but the blueberries much better than the raisins and the cranberries, so worked out in its favor overall despite that short scare. We do have 2 more great grains left, so I don't want to preemptively title this or anything, but for now, this is the great grains to beat. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and in the comments below, post your general thoughts. Let me know if you've tried Great Grains Blueberry Morning, and if it improved your morning by having it. Maybe you're not into blueberries, so that wouldn't be the case, and if so, you can let me know about that as well. And as we're working through these great grains, I've kind of got my own sort of personal ranking, obviously, with this at the top, but if you've tried at least a couple of the 4 we've done so far, and you have a different ranking for what you put at the top and what you put at the bottom, you can share that in the comments as well. But until next time, stay delicious.